People don't think about you as much as you think they do.
Well, I'm just not sure about that right now.
I know that might sound crazy, and some of you may already be thinking of somebody in your life who is proof of the opposite. But let me explain. And if you stick around, I'll also share a helpful exercise designed to help you overcome your self-consciousness.
That sounds good.
I don't care how comfortable you may claim to be in your skin, we are all self-conscious in this world. Some of us, undoubtedly, far more than others, but we are all to some degree impacted by the opinions and views of others, both those that we do and don't know. Even those of you who claim to be the exception to this, I'm willing to bet that at some points in your life, you've been impacted by a less than favorable opinion of you. You've just likely built up a persona where you proclaim to be you always, which, in my honest opinion, is one of the most self-conscious things anyone can do. But we'll save that for another video.
Definitely.
Operating under the assumption that we are all self-conscious to some degree, I'd like to move on to helping you decrease the amount of an impact that your self-consciousness has on your daily life. You see, the one benefit to living in a world where we are all actively concerned with how other people perceive us is that generally takes up so much of our time that we don't really have much left over to actively judge others. I'm not suggesting that we don't judge others. Of course, we all do. But what I want to point out is that it doesn't align with the amount that our mind has fooled us into believing we are being judged. Of course, the nature of social media and the safety and even at times anonymity it can offer has made the vocalization of non-constructive criticism more prevalent. But it's the automatic and now heavily programmed nature of your mind that has fooled you into believing that pretty well everything you do will be heavily scrutinized, when in reality, very few things are. Because of the trauma that's often connected to them, we have a tendency to replay over and over again those key moments in our lives that had the biggest impact on us becoming self-conscious. As a result of that, its impact gets blown out of proportion to the point that we develop a fear to actually be ourselves. As a result, we tend to either avoid doing anything altogether to protect ourselves, or what we do publicly do, we do only within the boundaries of what is the popular status quo, maximizing the chances that we only receive positive feedback in response. It's not strictly because of this, but it's definitely a key factor as to why so many of us find ourselves buying into trends that just a few years later we either look back on and regret or can laugh at. So rather than putting every decision that you make through the filter of social acceptance, allow yourself to make the decision that feels right to you. And trust that if it does need to trigger something unpleasant, A, it's not a regular occurrence, and B, it's offering you a great opportunity to grow and become stronger as an individual.
You're blowing my mind, Frank.
Before I get to the helpful exercise, if you do happen to like your personal development content served to you in a brutally honest way from someone just as ordinary as you, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button to make sure you get notified whenever a new one comes out, and please comment in the section below your thoughts on this one. I'd love to hear from you. And lastly, the helpful exercise that I find works well with this particular brutally honest truth is to take some time to reflect on the thoughts that you've most recently had. How many of your thoughts over the past 24 hours that you can remember are connected to some form of judgment towards another person, versus how many of them are simply consumed with what's actually occurring in your life, or thoughts directed towards yourself, either positive or negative? I find that by doing this kind of cements into place just how much time is taken up by that which directly connects to you, proving to you how little is spent directing towards others. And if you project that out to other people, assuming that their lives are just as full and just as time consuming for them, it really shows how little time others even have available to actively judge you.